Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, August the 13th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set to extend its record high today, with ASX futures up more than 0.1%. Global shares rose as US inflation met expectations, with European shares gaining on optimism about a US-China tariff truce. On Wall Street, the US consumer price data buoyed sentiment on the improved prospect of an interest rate cut in September. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq ending at record closing highs. A check of the Mag 7 stocks, and among those, Alphabet rose as Perplexity made a $34.5 billion cash offer to buy the company's Chrome browser. Intel climbed after President Trump met its chief executive, Lip-Bu Tan, praising him despite having demanded his immediate resignation last week over his ties to Chinese firms. An index tracking airline stocks surged, putting it on track for its biggest one-day rise in more than a month after the inflation data showed airfares rose 4% in July. Bank stocks rallied. As an analyst said, steepening of the yield curve could help bank earnings as lenders could borrow cheap and lend at a higher rate. Well, the US Consumer Price Index rose 2.7% in the 12 months through to July, which was slightly below forecasts. Excluding volatile food and energy components, core CPI rose 0.3% for the month, the biggest gain since January, lifted by higher prices for services, including a 4% increase in airfares. Economists have suggested the disinflationary trend in services is stalling, with a record surge in the cost of healthcare prices also. And the US government budget deficit grew nearly 20% in July to $291 billion, despite a $21 billion jump in customs duty collection from tariffs, with outlays growing faster than receipts. The US government's gross national debt has now surpassed $37 trillion. Well, Fed funds futures traders are pricing in a 94% odd that the Fed will cut rates at its mid-September, according to the CME Group's FedWatch tool. Interest rate sensitive two-year Treasury yields fell in response to the inflation data to be at 3.73%, while the 10-year was slightly higher at 4.29%. And the US dollar fell across the board after that data, while the British pound was up 0.5% on the dollar as the UK jobs market weakened further. The Aussie dollar is trading at 65.3 US cents. And Bitcoin has risen above 120,000, in fact it's just fallen below that $120,000 level. Well, oil prices have dipped as traders anticipated declining demand at the end of the US summer driving season in early September. Brent crude futures at $66 a barrel. Copper rose more than 1.5%, iron ore up 1% to $103 a tonne, and gold edged higher after US inflation data raised expectations of further interest rate cuts. Spot gold around $3,345 an ounce. On the data docket locally today, we get the wage price index for the June quarter, as well as lending indicators. And among the companies reporting earnings today are AGL, Treasury Wine Estates, Computershare, Evolution Mining, IAG, and Arena REIT, and the Commonwealth Bank has delivered a cash profit of $10.25 billion for the full year, which is up 4% and in line with forecasts. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.